Classic TV fans, Nineg here. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about I Love Lucy. More specifically, we're going to be getting into a little theory that I have that I don't know. If you ask me, it's a fact. It's a total fact because there isn't anything I could think of that contradicts it. Maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know in the comments down below. Before we get into it and before I dive deeper into I Love Lucy, I do want to let you know that we are inching closer and closer to 150,000 subscribers. If you watch the channel regularly, or if you're new and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It will help me get to my goal, and it's absolutely free to do so. So I thank you ahead of time for doing it and for supporting the channel. Now, as I mentioned in many videos before, I Love Lucy is my favorite show of all time. I've been watching it since I was 3 years old. I made over 312 videos on the show, but this is something that I recently came upon, and it was just like a light bulb went off. It was a huge revelation, and that is about the show itself. The title of the show is I Love Lucy. So we've heard it so many times, it could even be something that we don't even think about twice. But I wanted to dive deeper into that, and the revelation hit me because I don't know about you, but if you ask me what I Love Lucy is about or who do I think of Lucille Ball. I think of Lucy Ricardo and her zany adventures, right, with her husband. But let's dive deeper into that, because if we think of Lucy when we think of I Love Lucy, I mean, while that's okay, I think a lot of us kind of just assume that I Love Lucy is about Lucille Ball. That is the center. She is the center of the show. The show is about Lucy Ricardo, and some supporting actors are Desi Arnaz, Bill Frawley, and Vivian Vance. But I think that is completely incorrect. We've gotten that wrong this whole time. Ever since 1951, when this show has come out, that is completely wrong. And I tell you why. That is because the show is called I Love Lucy. Now, if you think about that, I Love Lucy, who is saying that? That Lucille Ball or Lucy Ricardo would not be saying that, right? She would not be saying I Love Lucy. That's like me saying I love Nineg. So who is it really that says I Love Lucy? Well, we get a little bit of a hint in an episode called The Last Birthdays. From season 2, it's not one of my favorite episodes because Lucy cries the entire episode pretty much. She feels that everyone has forgotten her birthday, little to know that in fact Ricky, Fred, and Ethel and all of their friends are gathered at the club and are surprising her to give her this big birthday party at the club, and it's just wonderful. And Ricky, for the first time, he reveals the lyrics to the I Love Lucy song. In the beginning, you hear the instrumental of the I Love Lucy song, but you never hear any words. But Ricky fills in those gaps for the first time, and I'll read it to you. I've talked about this before, but we haven't taken it that step further. He says, I love Lucy and she loves me. We are as happy as two can be. Sometimes we quarrel, but then how we love making up again. Lucy kisses like no one can. She's my missus and I'm her man. And life is heaven, you see, 'cause I love Lucy and she loves me. Now, Ricky is singing this song to Lucy, and the opening 3 words are I love Lucy. So wait, if he's the one saying I love Lucy, the title of the show is I Love Lucy. The main character of the show isn't Lucy. It's actually Ricky Ricardo. Yeah, that's the shocking thing, because Ricky Ricardo is the one saying I Love Lucy. He's telling you his life or his viewpoint of the show, right, through his eyes. Or else the show would be called The Lucy Show, which she had a show like that. But that's not what the show is. And so that would change everything. That would make it a different viewpoint. And I have something else to support this as well. Now, if we go to the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour or I Love Lucy, the hour-long episodes, it's the same continuity. It's the same characters, just in an hour-long format. The episode is called Lucy Goes to Mexico. The opening is very different. We have a narration by Desi Arnaz himself, and he mentions, so he's speaking, Desi Arnaz, the man, is saying Ricky Ricardo and his orchestra have been booked at the Hotel Coronados. So why would the man Desi Arnaz mention Ricky Ricardo? Because that's his character. So in a way, what he is doing, he's speaking as Desi Arnaz about the Ricky Ricardo character, introducing us to the story. So that would reinforce the fact that this is his story. going back to I Love Lucy, this is his perspective. It's his anecdote as to what is happening. It's his retelling of the story. The entire show of I Love Lucy and his friends, the Mertzes, it's all his retelling. So the show is not necessarily about Lucy. It's about his interaction with his wife and his wife's friends versus Lucy and her husband and her friends. I don't know. To me, that completely changes everything. That is something that I've never really noticed before. And the added clincher of Lucy Goes to Mexico, where Ricky does that narration, just seals the deal for me. There's nothing that conflicts that I have seen in any episode. I mean, this is his story, and Lucy is highly involved in it, but it's all through his telling. I mean, we could do something and rename the I Love Lucy shows, like I said, The Lucy Show. And then, what would it mean? It's all about her, right? But this is about a man who loves this Lucy, and we get to learn about her through his eyes. I thank you so much for the support. I want to know your thoughts about this. Really, really cool. It makes me enjoy the show even more to dive deeper into these topics and to realize these things. It is super, super fun. We'll see you all next time. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Harold P, Terry Y, Jerry D, Citizen Kane 359, David D, Kevin K, Sally N, and Vito L. If you want to be on this list, make sure to check out the link in the description below for Patreon for exclusive content you won't see anywhere else.